Okay, here we are. It's Dr. Kenton Wakes Up. I'm Dr. Kenton. It is Friday the 13th. Ooh. Friday the 13th of December, 2024. How are you? It's early. If you can believe it, is 7, according to the clock I'm looking at, 7:24 a.m. I'm already awake, walked the dog, showered, eaten breakfast, fully dressed, on my way to a meeting. So, if you can believe it, please believe it. Anyway, today, this is a proof of concept to see if I can record one of these babies without sitting at my desk and without video. I don't know, I may find a still photo to capture the essence. Maybe I'll ask an AI or something to generate a picture of a person driving a tiny blue minivan down the highway, because that's what's happening right now. Friday, ordinarily a day when I could be at home and do administrative stuff, running some errands, doing a little bit of maintenance work around the house, scheduling appointments to have people come do work around the house, or whatever the case is. But that's not the case today. Not the case today. And especially today, I would have appreciated having some time available to do grading this morning, but this meeting, I don't know, for some reason I bear some shame even thinking about not attending in person. I don't know why. I think it probably, though, sends a message to the other people in the room, that I take it seriously. I take my job seriously. I take my membership of this committee seriously. And that way, it also keeps the people from pointing at me or my department or my college as they think they're special, that they don't have to come to campus and do the da-da-da, blah, 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 blah. So, typical thought pattern of mine, where I feel like if I do all the right things, nobody will have any room to complain, which I know, putting it that way, is just a ridiculous distortion. All right. So the committee meeting that I'm going to today is the resource something allocation. It's RPAC. It doesn't matter. What it is a committee of representatives across the campus. Each college has a representative. Each service unit has a representative. So there's somebody there from finance, someone from the auxiliary services. There's supposed to be someone there from the police. I don't know for sure. Maybe that's under auxiliary services. I don't know. But anyway, it's every service unit on campus has a representative. And the idea is that the original idea many years ago was that the budget, the operating budget of the university, has a certain amount of money attached to standing functions, so you can't mess with that. But there are reasons why there would be built-in surpluses, because there are unforeseen circumstances, there are emergencies, there are whatever. But those any budget and any of these built-in surpluses, they all have to be spent during the academic year, or they'll get lost back to the state government and you'll never get that money back. So the intention is to ensure that all that money gets allocated to a function that's going to spend it within an academic year. So that was the purpose many years ago, and I would say that just to dispel any kind of rumors, let's say the budget of the university is much higher than this, but we're talking about in terms, I'm hopeful to explain it in terms that are more easy to understand than by using the actual numbers. Okay, so let's say the budget of the university is $1 million. 1% of that money is what the committee that I'm talking about has any kind of influence over how it gets spent. So 99% of the budget is already allocated into its separate little spending categories. So the salaries and benefits and operating expenses, keeping the lights and heat on, keeping the power plant running, all the stuff. And then within, that's just for everybody's benefit, right? And then you've got individual college priorities that they have. So, yeah, you're getting down to not just nickels and dimes. We're talking pennies now, because the budget that this group used to have any influence over was the 1% of the total budget. So $1 million in 1% is $10,000. So the impression here is that these projects that get funded through this committee are supposed to be for the benefit of as many people, programs, colleges, departments as possible, because the money to support it is coming from the entire university pot. So, yeah. The purpose of the committee today, I'm not entirely certain about, because they, I'm not going to say that there's obfuscation or unclarity or deliberate misleading, but the nature of the things that we talk about, we're hearing a lot of reports about how budget got spent, and that serves a purpose, but the money, any kind of monies that are allocated or earmarked, that's not the right word. Ultimately, there's a person, one person, who pushes the button that says pay for any initiative. Nobody else is allowed to do that. The purpose of the committee is to provide counsel, advice, oversight, whatever, to the person who pushes the button. And if all right, so this is where my comments about unclarity and obfuscation and so forth come in, because my former boss used to say a phrase often enough that it started to become a little bit cynical to hear him say it so often, but the phrase was the appearance of shared governance. And that none of these entities that are, above the dean level, that's the provosts, that's the vice presidents, that's the associate provosts, and so forth. These people don't like being told what to do or how to do their jobs. So when there's a pile of money sitting there that used to be earmarked or tagged or allocated or encumbered, or whatever word you want to use, to a specific to a specific purpose, the group that lost that access to that money is going to feel a little bit perturbed about it. Maybe even, well, spiteful's too strong. But, you know, a little peeved that they don't have access to that resource anymore. So the thing is that there used to be a defined, it's like 1% of the total university budget. And now it seems like the allocations that we're talking about are purely out of the provost's office. And to complicate things even further, when the president and provost come in and say that there are impending budget cuts, that really, to me, when you hear budget cut at a university, you hear that, to me, that means there will be no surplus. Now remember at the beginning of this conversation where I was talking about the purpose of the committee was to spend any surplus? So, and I've been at this institution for this is my 23rd year. Wow. How'd I get so old? This is my 23rd year. I think there was only, in that time, there were maybe 4 years in total where the university claimed that they had produced over their budget. Now, maybe the whole point, and now I'm getting in the weeds, but maybe the whole point of a university committee, like the one the whole point of the people who testify, what a strong word. The people who come and report to this committee, provide reports, are not in there to talk about financial gain or financial success. You're in there to talk about how you spent the money you were given, because that's your job. There's no, come on, buddy, get into the passing lane and then slow down. That's not cool. So the only time that you hear any words about success are very rare, because there's no benefit in my environment to have financial success. In a corporate environment, it's all about success. You'd never hear any talk about deficits or underperformance or any of that. But in a university environment, the entire conversation is about, we don't have enough resources, there's no way that we can approve that allocation, etc., etc. So it's just rhetoric. Anyway, the committee meeting starts at 9, and I gotta be there. Well, I don't have to be there in person, I got to attend. And I think if you look at it, the word attendance really just means you're paying attention. So there are proxies for paying attention. You can have your face on a video screen where people can see that your eyes are open and you're looking at the camera. Or, you know, it's fairly easier. People assume you're paying attention if you're in the room sitting down at the desk. Even if you're working on something else, people can't easily see that. All right. Anyway, I would say for a Friday before 8 a.m. This traffic is a little bit higher than I had anticipated. It's not like there's a slowdown or anything. There's just more vehicles than I would have anticipated. And we're still, today's the 13th, and the Christmas or whatever end of year holiday doesn't start until we have another full week between now and when people would start to cut out. So I don't know. Who knows? Maybe they're giving away free coffee and donuts at some restaurant, and people felt like they should get out on the interstate to drive there. I don't know. All right. So my coffee this morning was the Safeway's institutional instant coffee. And for some reason, it was hotter than I couldn't drink it right away. Usually I can drink, I put my cream and stuff in there, and it calms down. I can drink it pretty quick after I pour it in the cup. But today, not so much. No dice, as they say. No luck, no love. And I had oatmeal for breakfast, so that's about a normal breakfast. A little less than normal. I tried a new technique for cooking the oatmeal, and it worked out okay, fine. So I'll try it again. And I think if you do any more than I did, you're pushing your luck, because if you've cooked oatmeal before, it likes to poof up, and if you don't have a vessel large enough to contain all the poof, it boils over, and that's a mess. So anyway, enjoy your day, everybody. Happy Friday. Love you. Bye.